Hey everyone. My trip was good. It was long. It was long but good. So yeah, for anyone who didn't know, so I got married recently-ish. It's been like this long process. Legally I was married like a year and a half ago. My wife and I had for the legal portion of it, we had an Elvis wedding in Vegas, which was kind of awesome, just like a little thing. But then we wanted to have like the real ceremony at her family's uh, village in Poland. So it got delayed and everything. So we finally just did it. And so yeah, so I spent the last several weeks in Poland. We had a fun little wedding, and yeah, a bunch of my family came over, did a bunch of traveling, and yeah, just lots of stuff. It was great. But yeah, it's I feel a little dumb like being back, trying to remember like, okay, what was I working on before? 'Cause it was I usually never like step away from the game or working or anything like that, but in this case there was so much going on, like I really couldn't think about game stuff for a little while. So I apologize, there hasn't been much progress in recent weeks, but yeah. Only get married once. Well, I guess technically you can do more, but anyway. Burr, burr, burr. So how's everyone doing? Burr, burr, burr. But yeah, my hello chat. See, I think I can show some, well, the important oh, random wedding photos. Find the important one here. Oh yeah, there we go. So very traditional Polish wedding, you can tell. We had dinosaurs. All weddings should involve dinosaurs. Oh really? Is this a Polish wedding thing? Do all Polish weddings have dinosaurs? Did your aunts have dinosaurs too? I was surprised by the dinosaurs thing actually. My wife surprised me with dinosaurs when we showed up to the reception. So, but it was awesome. There was also a sexy sax man. Let me see if I can find the sexy sax man. Oh yeah, here we go. Sexy sax man shooting sparks from his saxophone. So, long story short, yeah, Polish weddings are awesome. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Oh yeah, yes, I need to. I was telling Sock like I'm over. My wife's from Krakow, so like when we're visiting her family, I'm over near Krakow, which is super close to Sock. So we need to meet up one of these times, have some coffee or something. Coffee in real life with Eric. Or I could technically have broadcast from over there. I feel like the internet connection there was pretty, like her parents don't have the fastest internet, so I didn't know if that would work. But I could try, I suppose. Oh, thank you. Well, thank you for playing. Vodka is more. Yes, yeah, there was vodka. I have learned this about Poland, that vodka is involved, or Polish weddings. So sadly, we did not bring the dinosaur outfits back. Those were Aga, my wife's two nephews. They did the dinosaur thing. So I don't know if we let them keep the dinosaur costumes. Probably, I'm sure. I don't know what else you do with a dinosaur costume. Uncle Janusz. Hola. Gone for three. Oh, we're just discussing dinosaur costumes, as one does. Yes, you did. You have to watch. I am recording. See, I got the recording icon. So if you missed anything, you can catch up when it's posted tomorrow. We do need a dinosaur character, actually. That's a good point. Though I wonder, like I almost like everything has to be so human shaped right now. I would wonder if I mean it could probably still work like a raptor sort of thing that just looks standing very straight up. We need we need raptors and Shrek. This is true. What engine used Bomb Squad? It's my own goofy little Millennium Falcon duct taped together engine. It's not a not any of the big ones. Um, as a for anyone new, if I were starting Bomb Squad today, I would probably use one of the existing engines, but I started tinkering on it in 2004, and so Unreal Engine at the time was like $100,000, I think, and Unity didn't exist. The other minor ones didn't exist, so writing it myself was kind of the clear option at the time. I'm still happy I did, but if from a practical sense, if you're making a game today, making your own engine is probably not the wisest choice in most cases. In some cases, like if you enjoy coding and you like the graphics part and the low level stuff, it can be nice to write your own engine, but it certainly takes a lot of work. Can learn Bomb Squad modules. Probably. There's still not great docs. I mean, we're getting better with documentation. I mentioned this a few times ago. Is if you come down to Ballistica.net docs, latest version, you'll now get like it's a pretty decent set of docs now. So if you just want module reference, so there's all the basic runtime modules, blah blah. I've been going through and filling out and trying to like make this documentation better and fill in missing blank spots and everything like that. So for reference, this is actually getting decently good, I think. There's still not enough in terms of like examples and test cases. Like if you want to get started with the latest and greatest Bomb Squad 1.7 whatever, there's not like good tutorials right now. And part of my reason for that is because I'm really as 1.8 and all that stuff comes around, like it's gonna have some big changes in terms of like how you do mods and things. And so I really want to like make tutorials for those new ways of doing things. I don't want to make tutorials for like the existing kind of janky ways. So I apologize that the tutorial situation is not good right now. But at least the reference, the module reference situation is improving. Well, thank you guys for tuning in, if first timers and otherwise. I didn't know if anyone would like remember about me after I've been gone for, was it 5 weeks or something? But yeah, this is another good point. Check pin messages. Just being on the Discord here, there's a lot of good reference and people that know what they're doing. So this is a good place to ask questions, even if there's not official, an official set of tutorials or anything like that. Oh, playing for 7 or 8 years. In one way, that's awesome. Congrats. And though in another way, it's like that's, in a way, that still seems recent to me or something. Some people are like, I've been playing for 20 years, maybe not 20 years, but how long? When did the game come out? 2000. Well, I guess 14 years. Technically, someone could be playing for it. It came out in like 2011 officially. Make the game recognize a new .lib file when doing make Windows debug. Oh, that is like what kind of .lib file? Can you elaborate, or like what is your end goal there? Oh no, I've missed all the good anniversaries. Like I should have done something special for the game's like 10th anniversary, and I guess probably coming up on the 15th. Yeah, but I've been slacking in terms of doing anniversary things. Oh yeah, Vinny, I saw your message on here. I should definitely follow up. I am curious. Yeah, I'm curious what you're running into. So definitely ping me again after this, or I can I'll try to follow up with you after the stream here. I don't think. Oh, actually, that's a good question. When you say accessing your account, like, do you just mean your scores aren't counting? Or like, what do you mean by accessing? Because if your scores aren't counting, then yeah, you might have been shadow banned for like a high score. There's there's cheat detection stuff, which basically is detecting like suspiciously high scores and then it shadow bans people. So if that happened to you, then that should be easy to fix. Definitely ping me right after this and I'll take a look. I don't want to open up like your account info while people are watching. that would be bad. Discord game SDK.lib. Add this lib the game. I mean, that should be something like the Visual Studio project. You should be able to add it there or even within the source code. I think because I think on the Windows side, that stuff is actually defined like in CPP files. Let me check this out. I recently, spoiler alert, like my next update, oh yeah, here we go. Like for Windows stuff, like core platform windows.cc, this is the magic weird little comments that pull in various libs. So if you add something here and then run a build, it should pull that in, theoretically. Give that a whirl if you can. But yeah, not a huge update, but one thing I've been working on is updating to Python 3.13, 3.13. So that is mostly all done now. That's the little bit of spare time I've had in the last weeks. That's one of the things I did. So I'll be pushing that update probably soon. One thing I'm kind of excited about is I redid at least like whoops, where do I not have that open? Moment. So I redid like the Apple versions, like the Mac build, and this will apply to the iOS build and the tvOS and whatever builds. But they now use a much more like generic version of Python, right? Before I was making this like custom stripped down, like simplified Python library. But I changed it to where now they're just using kind of vanilla Python, which this won't really affect most people, but it's kind of an interesting thing. So now there's like Python.framework is embedded in here. There's all this other stuff, like if you go to pylib within the game, there's all these like shared libraries, which it didn't have before. Before, everything was compiled into one binary, but now it's using just like full Python, which has a bunch of different shared libraries. When you load a module, it like loads an individual shared library, stuff like that. But the cool thing about that is it will make it way easier for me to update Python yearly. It's been kind of a pain in the butt, like keeping my weird custom compiled version of Python updated every year. It's like a significant chunk of work. But now it won't be anymore, so that's good. So yeah, that new update will be coming out soon. Changelog. So I can say, yeah, one of the big things is updated from 3.12 to 3.13. There's a few new features in 3.13, but nothing insane. Anything else new, exciting? Not really. Scroll up, I sent a screenshot. Oh, okay. That's not a screenshot. That's not a screenshot. Did I scroll up too far? Oh, small screenshot. Yeah, that looks... Oh, is it... At that point, yeah, I'm not... I'd have to see what's happening there. I mean, that should... Is it failing to find that library, or like... does it give you an error when you compile? Have I seen the GTA trailers? Yeah, I saw like the first GTA 6 trailer. I think there's newer ones, right? I don't think I've seen the newer ones. Curious, why do you ask? Doesn't look as good as Bomb Squad, of course, but you know, they're getting close. Just kidding. I always joke though that in a way I don't like looking at trailers or gameplay for like AAA games because it's so depressingly good, you know. And it's like as a little indie, I can't compete with that kind of stuff. So it's almost like depressing. But it's still really cool to see. So I shouldn't stay away from it. Still haven't given up on adjustable gravity. Oh yeah, there's still like the low-hanging fruits of physics stuff that should be added to the game. I know there's an outstanding pull request for like rotation controls, something like that, adjustable gravity, things like that, which I am all in favor of. The main reason I haven't done it is the thing I mentioned before is compatibility concerns. So I'm really hoping that once I get moving here again and we get 1.8 out, or 1.8 is going to have to break compatibility a little bit anyway, so I think that might be a good opportunity to get some of these things in there. So I might, if you want to like make a PR to add gravity controls or something to the globals node, I'd probably be happy to pull that in maybe at 1.8 when we have the compatibility break. Or we can always do it in the future with like Scene V2 or other things. But this might be a good opportunity, is 1.8 to like add some physics controls. So if you have a physics control that you would really like, either talk to me or talk to someone that can help you implement it, and let's try to get it in there for 1.8. Does coffee with you give you a boost of motivation? It does actually, and that's that's part of the reason I do it is, yeah, it gives like me some motivation. Hopefully it gives you guys some motivation, or like just kind of, I don't know, it's nice to like touch base with the community and see that the people are still tinkering on the game, and see the ideas people have and everything. So, but it is nice. Yeah, it is awesome motivation. Like anytime I get an email from someone saying like, thanks for the game, like here's a photo of me playing it with my dad, or something like that. It's like, oh, that's like, that kind of stuff is so motivating. So I feel like that's a big reason of doing this is, you see things like that, or just, I started doing this just because you've all heard the story a million times. Like I was playing the game with my friends. It was just literally something fun to goof around with and play with friends. But then, over time it's turned more into like seeing other people enjoy it, or, I do play with other people still sometimes, but more often it's, hearing about other people playing it, or seeing screenshots, or seeing, photos of people getting together and playing the game, which that's super inspiring. Oh. So yeah, if I've inspired anyone to code a little bit, that's awesome. Or get a Bomb Squad tattoo. Yeah, Sock is still the king there of inspiration. I always show that to people. I'm like, look, this guy got a Bomb Squad tattoo. It's like I feel I feel honored. Unresolved X blah. Set large image. What's happening here? Oh my god. Discord activity. Okay, so here, it looks like it has a bunch of linker errors. So it would seem that it's maybe the Discord stuff is not getting linked in. So my question there would be, I guess the first thing I would test is like, is it actually linking that file? Like when you, where did that screenshot go? I lost it. Okay. Oh, wait. Well, anyway, where you added the pragma, where you added the Discord library, I would make sure that is doing something. Like as a test, I would change that library to like an incorrect name, and then run build and make sure that it fails. Because then it's trying to load that library. So then if you change it back to the normal name and then it works again, you can assume that library is getting linked. And if it is getting linked, then my next question would be like, is there another library you need or something? Because if it's not finding the symbols that it needs in that library, then either those symbols exist somewhere else. Maybe there's like a standalone C++ file or something you need to include, or it could be something more tricky. But yeah, that's where I would start. So. Check and debug when. Well, it looks like it's failing to compile. So the DLL files are loaded at runtime. But to use a DLL file, you usually need like a .lib file. So there should be a .lib file somewhere and then a DLL file somewhere else. And it needs both. The lib file is for compiling, and then the DLL file it loads that at runtime. But those errors you sent me, those are linker errors. So that means it's either missing the .lib file, or that .lib file doesn't contain the stuff that it's looking for. if the DLL is a problem, that would be a runtime problem. That'd be like you start the game and then it says like can't find foo.dll. But it looks like what you're stuck on is something with the .lib. That's cool. Ooh, yeah. Oh, this is cool. It's like Braveheart or Lord of the Rings looking thing here. Oh my god. Speaking of inspiring, it's always inspiring to me to like see the game running with this much stuff going on and like it's not crashing. I'm like, whoa, cool. Or it's not like slowing down to ridiculous levels, so that makes me kind of happy. That's awesome. I love. I know this has come up before, but I love that kind of stuff. Like the idea of like coding bots and having them fight each other. You know, it's a little bit like Robot Wars or something. It'd be super cool to have that like somehow be competitive. You know, like submit a chunk of code for your bot, and then we'll have them fight, and we'll have a big tournament. Crashes if there's close to 300 spazzes. Okay, I don't. Well, that could. I wonder if there's a. At some point, there was like a 256 node limit. I think that's gone, but I am not. There's probably still a number of limits in the game that are like 256, just because it's number values that use a single byte. Some of those might still be in there. I mean, it would be interesting in a way to fix this and make it so you could go up to 3,000 spazzes or something. But it's also like practically, it's not really that really won't be getting used for real gameplay. So it's not a super important thing. It's more just like it'd be neat to make it as bulletproof as possible. That like the problem there though, if you had that many spazzes, is the network code is not super efficient still. So it would be like sending crazy amounts of data, I think. To all clients that were connected, so it probably that I'm guessing would be the bigger bottleneck. Soccer server, we should get an official like soccer game incorporated there. I feel like that's such a big thing. Though I get like everyone's done a great job like making their own, so maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. It's one of those things where it's hard to know like whether to make an official version of something or to just like let the community do it, because if you make an official version, then the community might not experiment as much or whatever. So like I never know which is better. Like letting something kind of evolve by itself or like making an official version. I'm writing in big. Whenever I read the big letters, in my head it's like screaming, "Okay, I'm writing in big letters too." Uh-oh. Has someone pinged me 3 times and I didn't notice? That's the rule you have to keep making the letters bigger if I miss. I never ignore, I shouldn't say never, but I generally don't ignore comments on purpose. So if I miss something, I apologize. Just keep trying. Undertale. Oh, that's cool. Very, very cozy looking. My opinion on Norway. What about Norway? Is Norway? Norway seems cool. I don't know. What sort of things about Norway does one have opinions on? Like Scandinavian countries seem nice. I like Sweden. They gave us IKEA and meatballs and. I should start responding in the equivalent of caps, just like yell. Like, okay! Oh, goodbye, Nixon. I guess I probably missed you. Oh my gosh, so much stuff. Aw. Thank you, thank you. I'm so like non-linear in like reading this stuff, just like bouncing around the list. This is like an arms race. See, if everyone uses big letters, then the person, people have to use even bigger letters to get my attention. Before long, it's just going to be like one post at a time is visible. We'll have to have like a ceasefire agreement where everyone goes back to small letters, and then it can accelerate upwards again. Ooh. Whoop. Trippy. There's so many like painful looking head hits when playing this level, and half the time they're me. Good stuff. We still have the pre-bomb squad sound effects. I believe so. I mean, I still have the old pre 1.0 copies of the game, so I have like the built sound files. I probably have the source sounds, like the wave files and stuff too, I think. Actually, I'm not positive on that. I might just have like the OGs. But yeah, I've got the sounds in some form. So, all right, good stuff, good stuff. What is your idea? Did you post it here, or? What is this? Yeah, we do need a Spaz without his helmet. That is... It does look a little strange. Like it sort of looks like Spaz, but then it sort of looks like that's not Spaz. It goes back to that conversation we have, like, what is Spaz's hair? Whoa, what happened here? So that's, probably camera clipping or something. Poor Spaz. I feel like I should adjust like his eye colors. His eye colors look a little weird compared to his face colors, if you can see the whole thing. Mystery bomb idea. Okay, but good or bad effect? I like the idea of like mystery bomb idea. My one question would be like, or I feel like the tricky part would be making it clear what's happening. This is always my pet peeve, but I feel like for me the trickiest part understanding like new mods and things is it takes me a little bit to understand like what a bomb is doing or like what effects a bomb has or like a new power up or something. So if you have like a power up box or bomb or anything like that that has like different effects, I think the challenging part would be making it clear like what those effects are. And you probably could do it like if you had like very distinct colors or sound effects for the different effects. Yeah, but it maybe would need to be simpler or like just a few different effects or something. I feel like something like this where there's like 8 or 10 different effects, like that could work for like a very advanced game where people play it a lot and they're like really used to all the intricate details. But I would say for like something that should be accessible to like newbies, you'd probably want to simplify it a little bit. That'd be my thought. From a gameplay standpoint, that does sound kind of interesting. I know there's not been new power-ups. There's not. Yeah, it's. Bleh. I'm trying to like reboot my brain to where I was like 4 or 5 weeks ago and remember like what I was doing. I think the next thing that I'm trying to get out. Well, I'm gonna try to get out this new update that has a lot of like nitpicky stuff that I've been doing while I was in Poland and whatnot. So like the Python update and just a few bits of polish and things like that. So 1740 will probably just be like a polish update. But then I'll get back to like 1741, which the big thing that is still outstanding is like treasure chests, or like chest awards on private servers. I really want to get that done. Because right now, like, chests doesn't really apply to a lot of people because a lot of people only play multiplayer, and so you don't really get chests. So there's this whole new system that doesn't really get used by like a huge chunk of the population. So I want to get that in for, yeah, so anyone writing custom servers can award chests however they want. A little bit of a tricky problem, as I've mentioned before, in terms of like preventing abuse. You know, we don't want a server that just hands out treasure chests every 5 seconds to anybody who joins it or something in response for crypto mining, right? You know. So yeah, next thing is, yeah, treasure chests, and then, yeah, finally finishing up 1.8 is probably right on the agenda after that. Yeah, just hoping I can make some more substantial progress now that there's no longer weddings and traveling and things like that going on. Ignore it again. Wait, 1 second. I need to grab a glass of water. I just had breakfast and I realized I'm like very thirsty. So it's temporarily water with Eric, though I'll go back to coffee right after this. I can take a look for him if I can dig him up. I can try to post them somewhere. No, I will never abandon coffee for water, but you know, sometimes you need a little water between coffee. Yeah, H2O. Okay, what is this? Some people are hacking tournaments to score impossible scores that are beyond the limits. Well, so the thing here is, like, people can certainly hack their local game to, you know, edit memory or change the game rules or whatever to get whatever scores they want there. But what should happen is if you're playing in a tournament, it submits that crazy score, and then the tournament, which is on my server, should ban that person. So, are people somehow able to get like crazy scores into the tournament high score lists? Because that shouldn't be possible. I mean, there's always, you know, bugs happen and, you know, maybe I missed something, but like it should totally be possible for people to get fake high scores on their local device, but when they submit that to the server, it should be like, nope. Very hypothetical question. Old Bomb Squad sounds, it should be fine. Sorry, I'll ping you about this after. I mean, there's a, you know, some of them are like copyrighted stuff. You know, obviously we wouldn't, that wouldn't work. But most of the other ones I think would be okay. I just need to go over and make sure. So yeah, sorry. I mean, I'm always terrible at responding, but yeah, sorry I saw that question from you. I haven't responded. All right, sounds good. I'll try to DM you right after this. Aw, I love it. It would be cool to have more crazy, like, non-humanoid characters like this. Like, this looks something, I mean, maybe it would be possible to make this fit in like the existing character model where it's like everything has a head, a torso, you know. But well, like this doesn't have legs, so that would be very difficult. It'd be interesting to like expand things so we could have more like diverse things. Or like we were talking about dinosaurs before. Those are very, you know, if you did like a velociraptor, it's very much like not quite human shaped, or like a horse, you know, like different things. It'd be cool to be able to have that kind of stuff, but maybe that's pie in the sky. or more work than it would be worth. Added an armor stat, it would make the game more realistic. It could. That would be interesting. Like I kind of intentionally kept that simple. Like I didn't have, armor or hit points. Like you can't really, everyone has the same hit points. The one difference is if you play the game on easy or hard mode and co-op, that actually does kind of change your hit points I forgot whether it's armor or hit points, but you'll notice like you can take a lot of damage from bots before you die. Which does kind of, it's an interesting dynamic and does make you wonder like if that would ever be worth doing. I guess in a way, like the shield is kind of that. It's just like doing that in a way where it's like clearly visible. Like essentially the shield just gives you more hit points, right? It's just, I always like in games when you do something where you can like clearly tell that's happening. And so that's why I'd rather have something like a shield where it's very clear, like this person is taking extra damage versus if you just like picked up some like strength pack and your hit points went up, it might not be clear to someone that's like fighting you. They're like bombing the crap out of you and you're not dying. They're like, what's going on? I feel like that can lead to things feeling unintuitive. Like if everyone has the same health, you kind of know what a bomb is going to do, if that makes sense. So there's upsides and downsides. I mean, obviously like RPG type games where you have bosses with tons of hit points and normal things with little hit points, like obviously having different hit points is good in those cases. But I feel like there are cases too where it's nice to have everything just simple and like the same. But it could be an interesting idea to play with. What's going on here? I do this. I take over people's souls with my screaming green version of myself. What have we here? I need to fix that UI too. Oh my gosh. Yes, this is actually one of the things I want to add very soon is basically this. So maybe I can steal your code or something. Because I very much wanted to have, it's something where you can like just see the character as you're editing. So yeah, that is perfect. That's awesome, dude. Plus they kind of dance when you switch them. That's kind of fun. So yeah, for real, is that something I could, you could point me at the code? Oh, nice. Okay, cool. You fixed inventory. Man, see if I'm slow doing something. You all just like do it first. I need to be faster. Wait, what is playing? Something is still playing. Oh, this one up here. That's super cool though. Yeah, I really want that. I feel like that's gonna make it a lot neater, especially if there's like mods, it's like slightly different versions of existing characters, like Spaz with no helmet or stuff like that. I feel like it would be super cool just to be able to see it like up close like that. So, or just like slight variations on characters. It'd just be neat to be able to like see them up close. Evil Spazzes are back. What? Yeah, see, this is another talking about inspiration. Just seeing all the cool stuff you guys are doing makes me want to like. It keeps me trying to work faster so that you don't want to leave me in the dust. Some of the mechanics and systems we're working on explodinary synergies. It's interesting. Like, I love talking about mechanics and stuff like that, and I don't know. To me, it's interesting. I always wonder like what the best way is to to get from like simple mechanics to complex mechanics. This reminds me of while I was in Poland, we have a few like board games we play because I don't really speak Polish very much and they don't speak English very much. So we have a few games we play that we all kind of learn. And one of them is Saboteur. Has anyone played the board game called Saboteur? Anyway, it's kind of a simple game. It's sort of like a board game version of Among Us. Yeah, everyone's played Among Us, I'm sure. Where there's like, somebody is like pretending to be a good guy, but actually a bad guy and stuff like that. But anyway, the neat thing about Saboteur is there's like a simple version of the board game, then we all started playing that. But then there's like these expansions they keep coming out with, which keep adding more and more rules and more cards and more mechanics. And we keep like upgrading to the slightly newer ones and getting like the game keeps getting more and more complicated, but we enjoy it because like we started with the basic one and now we're just learning more and more and more. But that always gets me thinking, like if I were to jump in and play like the crazy weird expansion pack that we're playing of Saboteur, like just to start, I feel like I probably wouldn't, it would be like a turnoff. It'd be like, this is way too complicated, But, since I've played the simple version, it's kind of nice to like add complexity and, have a little bit more options as it goes. So with talking about game mechanics, it makes me wonder like what is the right way to introduce mechanics to people like that. If you have a game with a ton of complicated mechanics, like it's great for pro players, but it also can be a turnoff to new players. But vice versa, if you have a game that doesn't have complicated mechanics, it's maybe easy to pick up, but then like you hit the skill ceiling real fast, or there's not much else to learn. So I don't have an answer to like what the right way to go about it is. But yeah, for like you guys who are making mods and things like that, it's hard to know like where to aim. Or if you can somehow make the mod like have all these mechanics, but then like slowly introduce them to people or something like that. So. We discussed about the better profile editor plugin to be added. Sure, yeah, I can hang around for a bit and chat about all that. Yeah, I would certainly like to have something like the better profile editor in the game. That's part of the reason why the whole part of the reason why the inventory is so like ugly right now is that I would like to have this basically go straight to something like a better profile editor. Right now there's just a link to like the old one. But it'd be cool to, my thought is that when you come into inventory, yeah, just being able to like see your character full size and stuff like that. Just something a little more visual and fun, so that would fit perfectly if I could maybe steal some of your code or use it for inspiration if nothing else. Or vice versa, we could work together. Quit button offset to the, wait, what? Well, right now, are you talking about this? The quit button is technically to the right. I did that technically, so when you're hitting right, it kind of goes to that one naturally and then that one. I mean, these could line up. I don't know, maybe there's a better layout even altogether, but like some versions of the game don't have a quit button, so that's kind of why I did it like this, where credits and quit are kind of occupy the same space. Cool. Yeah, I really, as I mentioned before, like I would love the game to like foster new ideas and things like that. So I feel like my job is to hopefully put things in a place where you guys can make mods that have fun new mechanics and all that. I'll have to ask myself like when it makes sense to pull those mechanics in and make them like official or whatever. Like I said, there can be downsides of baking in mechanics to like the base game, is that people might not be able to add the same mechanics on top or something. So. But I certainly love to experience or love to see new mechanics. You line them up? Okay. Yeah, if this does seem to be a OCD thing with some folks, is like the weird buttons that aren't lined up. There was some other place with that too, right? Wasn't it? Controllers, are these still misaligned a little bit? I know that bothers some people. I don't remember if they are or not, but maybe. It's tricky because I was trying to give the game a kind of an organic, slaps together look, but it's like sometimes having things that are, having things that aren't quite lined up make kind of lends to that look a little bit, but sometimes it just looks annoying, if things aren't lined up. A lot of pro or hacker players don't know if. So this, my plan for addressing hacking is to try and move all tournaments. I know I'm very slow on this, but to try to move all tournaments to my own servers, and that would, for one, it would disallow the kind of hacks that people do where they're editing gameplay, or making it so you get more points for killing a bad guy or something like that, because all the point logic and all the scoring logic and physics logic and everything else would be happening on the server. So it would fix that, but also it would also make it easy that server could hold on to replays, and people could watch those replays if that was would still be useful. Doing live tournaments. By live tournaments, you mean the co-op tournaments, like these, or are there other? You talking about like in-person tournaments or something like that? You're talking about like these tournaments here, like those. Because that's still. Maybe I'm missing the point here, but like if they are doing, well, I guess there can be a thing where if people are like cheating in the tournaments, but they're submitting scores that don't pass the high score thresholds, that can still be a problem. But if they're cheating in ways where it gives them like unreasonable scores, like that should be caught by the score thresholds. Yeah, so it is still. Is this something that has gotten, like on the topic of this, has this gotten worse recently? I did take out the rootkit checking. I'm curious if that has made tournament hacking worse. I could technically put that back in, though I'd rather not. When 1.8? As soon as possible. I know it's been super delayed and super slow. And yeah, still trying to focus on it, or get it done as soon as possible. It's very close. The asset package stuff is all mostly working. There's keeps being these little like extra things that come up. Like I said, right now, I really want to get like treasure chest awards for tournaments. That's going to take a little bit of work. Finishing up this Python 3.13 thing and getting this like polish release out, that'll be a little bit of work. So yeah, sorry 1.8 keeps being so slow. Just working as fast as I can. But yeah, I thought about this too, just having some way to see replays of anyone playing tournaments. Right now, technically that wouldn't be possible easily, because you'd have to essentially I'd have to make it so like when a client plays a tournament, like after the tournament, they upload the replay. I mean, I guess I could like, that seems like it would be tricky to pull off, because someone with a crappy internet connection, that replay might be big. And what happens if they like unplug, if they score in a tournament and then like disconnect their phone from the internet? Like then they can cheat by not having the replay, or does it like cancel their score if the replay upload doesn't finish? It sounds like that would be a little bit of a complicated system to implement. So that's why my thought is just to keep on trucking towards the utopian future where tournaments are on my own servers, even though that's not here yet. Still where I'm aiming. Sadly, I don't think there's a Kung Fu Ninja style picture. We haven't gotten all the photos back from the photographer yet, so maybe there is, and I forgot about it. So we have dinosaurs. You can either have Kung Fu or dinosaurs. I don't know if you can have both. Yeah, that is a good point too, and that like even if we did force people to upload replays, you could still technically cheat in subtle ways. Like you could still edit the logic so that instead of doing random damage, you always do like the max random damage, and we couldn't, you couldn't identify that by a replay. It would just look like they're maybe very lucky. Like theoretically, you could play a game and every bit of damage you do is the max possible in that random range. But if someone like had a replay where that was always happening, we couldn't really say for 100% sure that they're cheating. So like I said, I feel like the best solution to this is to finally get just tournament logic all happening on controlled servers. Yeah. I hate always saying that because it's like that's not ready yet. So I hate always pointing to the future, be like, oh, this thing will do someday. It's going to work great. But I do feel like spending effort on something that would not be perfect is maybe not worth it versus just aiming towards the perfect thing, even if it's still in the future. Okay, more big text. Ah. I love it. I love this kind of stuff. Yeah, I do. I want to, yeah, I'd love to embrace that kind of thing. One thing I'm wanting to do with, I've mentioned the idea of leagues before, and I'm wanting to get this going as fast as possible, at least for 1.9. Custom leagues where you can basically make your own. It'll be like a top level thing. Like Bomb Squad Classic will just be one league. Maybe there will be a different word for it, but like you'll be able to, if you want to make some league of your own, which is a certain types of games or a completely different style of gameplay. And then I also want you to be able to make a set of achievements and things like that within leagues. So all of the existing Bomb Squad achievements will simply those will be achievements for Classic. But if you wanted to make like achievements for your own leagues, I feel like stuff like this would work really well for that. If you want to just come up with goofy things you can get rewards for, or doesn't even have to be achievements. That could just be something like for individual games, little bonus things you get. But yeah, I want to embrace the idea of just little things you can accomplish and little things that give you either just cool messages or little rewards or whatever. Yeah, I love that. Or things other games have like daily challenges and stuff like that. I feel like that'd be great to have a way that people could build those sort of things for their own leagues. Just something that giving people little fun challenges, like that would be great. So yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. Like the score screen at the end of the standard score screen where there's like a few things like yeah, most killed player, stuff like that. Like just having fun little call outs like that, except more of them and throughout the game. Like I love all that. It'd be fun too. Talking about replays, like I'd love to maybe in Scene V2 or something coming up, have some way where you could like capture a little chunk of gameplay and like replay that at the end during the score screen or something like that. Like some games do that where it's just like strongest punch and then just like show that moment. Like that'd be super neat. Or things like this that reminded me that cross counter, some goofy thing that happens and then you like snapshot that and then you can kind of show it at the end for people to laugh at. When will it release for Switch? That is the question. The answer is post 2.0. I hope. I would love to come out for Switch or Switch 2 or both or whatever, but I'm not pursuing any of that until iOS and Steam are out, which will be 2.0. So yeah, it's down the road a ways. Sorry. revise what the limits are for the stages. I recently did revise the limits. Has it changed since then? uh, Joy-Cons on Android don't work. It only lets you play with one. So you can have. Can you elaborate? Like if you have multiple Joy-Cons connected, like you want to be able to use multiple Joy-Cons for like a single player, or it won't let you use multiple Joy-Cons for multiple players? Okay, so it says unholy access. So you're trying to use multiple for one, but it's sorry, I'm still a little confused. In general, though, yeah, I'm not sure if that's something I would fix or if that's like an Android thing. In most of these cases, like for most platforms, I'm just using whatever like game controller support they provide. And so if certain types of game controllers don't work or certain configurations don't work, that's usually out of my hands. It's mostly like you'd have to, like that particular Android device might need to fix it. That's not always the case though. Like I just got an email from someone asking about their PlayStation 2 controller plugged into a Mac doesn't work. And I tried that myself with my PS2 controller and it's the same thing, but it's that's like there's nothing I can do about that. It's something with like the driver or just Mac doesn't handle those older controllers anymore in that particular case. So I need to respond to that person and be like, sorry, I wish I could help, but I can't. What did you miss? How long were you gone? We're talking about Switch, using Switch controllers on Android, controller support in general. Yeah, there's one thing in Android that I should update to: Android controller library or Google. Yeah, like Google added this at some point. Android game development kit, game controller library. Like I want to take a look at this, which would be cool. Right now on Android, it's just using like low-level input device stuff. Like basically you can see if a device is connected and there's certain ways to kind of tell like, okay, this might be a game controller or it might be just like buttons on your phone. It's kind of like ambiguous sometimes. So the game tries to do the best it can, but I guess it looks like there's an official game controller library now. One question I would have for this though is this Android game development kit. Is this something that Google only allows on like Google Play Store stuff? Because I don't want to, the game runs on generic Android, which means like it runs on Fire TV or, also Google Play stuff, but also just generic Android devices. Android is open source and there's lots of stuff out there that is just like Android, but it's not Google. So it makes me wonder, like, is this library going to only work for like Google's stuff? Because Google seems to be doing a lot of that, where they're like adding stuff to Android, but it's only like their Android. So in a way, I wouldn't want to adopt this if it's only going to work for Google Play. But it could be, I don't know, it could be worth looking at. One more time. Cool. That's a very distinct sound. I feel that's I feel like that's just an important thing is having stuff that's very like clear and distinct. Like, oh, that is the specific sound I know when this happens. More server events be on Saturday night or Sunday. Which are these like events happening on servers? Because most of that is not like the servers that I'm running are all just the vanilla servers, which don't do anything fancy. Blah. 1 second. I still need bars here to drag. But yeah, all of my servers. Whoops. Blah, blah. Ah, can't hit buttons when I'm talking. Yeah, all my servers are like these boring ones, like FFA at US West B1, all that. But yeah, if there are servers that are running events, those are, yeah, not mine. So you'd have to talk to the server owners. Did you hear spaz noise? Oh, that was probably me. I did. I don't remember if I voiced any of the spaz stuff or not. Eat your chin. Oh yeah, that's true. I see that little like nag message works. I would have not gotten my chest if not for that, probably. What things have been shown throughout the live stream? This has mostly been if you're just tuning in now, this has mostly just been like Q&A. Nothing super exciting getting shown. I showed the new Python 3.13 update. That's very exciting. Let's do make macrel again. Play Bomb Squad on TV. That Bomb Squad on TV, I mean, that's kind of like, it sounds strange, but it was kind of intended for that. Like when I first made it, it was to be played on a TV. You know, it's a very console-style game, which is sort of funny with now that most people play it on an Android phone. So it's wound up in a weird place. But that's my fault. It should be out on like Switch and things like that. But yeah, I was showing, you know, there's this Python.framework now in the Ballistica Kit Mac app, different things like that. It's using a more just kind of vanilla Python, which means there's technically more stuff available. Like anything that's included with Python is now available in the game for like the Mac version, and will be the iOS version. I'll probably do that for the Android version at some point. Basically, just give it like an entire unmodified full version of Python, for me, that keeps things simpler. It does like bloat the game a little bit though, because Python includes some junk that most people would never use. So, but it's been long enough and devices are fast enough and everything that it's probably okay to bloat the game a little bit, because that makes it easier to update it. I just like every time a new Python comes out, I basically just have to compile it and plug it into the game, as opposed to like all this weird stuff I have to do right now, which is like compiling it into like stripping out some of the modules and compiling everything as a static library and doing all this like pruning. It's kind of a pain in the butt. It does come up like way smaller and kind of simpler, but at some point it's probably not worth it. It's just kind of nicer to have things more easy to plug in. How I got into coding. So mostly I got into coding like on my own. I think I had like one programming class in high school. It was, I feel so old saying this, but it was like Pascal. Like nobody uses Pascal anymore. So I had one Pascal coding class in high school, and then I went to art school. So yeah, most of my coding was just like on the side for fun. I've always liked art and graphics and things like that. And then, you know, I wound up working at Pixar doing visual effects. So it was a lot of art and graphics, but it was some coding. So I did get a good experience with coding, you know, partially from work, and then partially just, that's kind of part of the reason I think I started writing Bomb Squad, is just kind of scratch that itch of like coding stuff or making games. Bomb Squad was actually my second real like game project. At first, I think like after I got out of high school, I was trying to make this, I was just coding like a little engine. In a way, Bomb Squad it's almost like I'm coding an engine again at this point, but when it started out, like I had no game. I was just making an engine, and then I had like this idea for a game. But it never actually got to the point of being like a playable game. It was just basically me tinkering on this engine. So Bomb Squad was kind of like a reboot. It was just, at some point I started over. I'm like, I'm never going to get this thing to a playable game state. So Bomb Squad literally started as a weekend project of just like, okay, I'm going to take like 2 days and make a goofy Bomberman clone thing to play with my roommates or something like that. And so I did, and you know, very quickly I got something up and running that was like really janky and playable. And then I started just like adding to that. And so that wound up, I feel like there was a life lesson there, is that like, it's good to get something playable or get some, like, you know, work fast and get something that you can actually do something with. Like if you're trying to make a game, like make it playable, make something that works. and then like iterate and improve it. Like that worked a lot better for me than my first attempt, which was just this, huge plans of like, okay, I'm going to make all these pieces and then I'll make a game, and then the game never happened. So it was kind of like making the game first was a better plan, and then like improving it from there. I know. I feel like I've reverted somewhat to like that first thing where I'm spending tons of time, working on engine stuff or things that aren't directly related to gameplay. But still, I don't know. I'm hoping it's all for a good cause. Anyway, sorry, I got off on a random tangent there. Burp, burp, burp. Do I play Bomb Squad with friends or family these days? I do, not as often as I wish. It used to be like I feel like when I was like in college or in my 20s, like I would play with friends a lot. We'd have a lot of like, maybe part of that was maybe just like the times being different where online games weren't as big. Like we would still get together a lot and play like Halo or, just have like LAN parties. I feel like do you guys ever still have LAN parties? Is that a thing? That for a while that was like LAN parties were awesome. And I'm sure part of it is that maybe people just don't do them anymore. And then the other part is that like I've gotten older, and so all my friends have families and things like that. They can't stay up till 4 a.m. At a LAN party. Nice. Okay, that is awesome. Keeping the LAN party dream alive. But anyway, yeah, since there's been like fewer LAN parties and game get-togethers and things, and I think some of that is just my friend group getting older. It's just harder to get everyone together to play games. So it's more rare that I get to play with groups of people, but it still happens. Like I do ski trips with friends and family once or twice a year, and so I usually take Bomb Squad there, and I'll bust that out after a day of skiing. We'll play some Bomb Squad for a few hours, and that's always fun. But yeah, oh man, I miss LAN parties. I wish I'd love to just go to a LAN party. Part of it though is like I'm on more of a regular schedule these days too, so which kind of sucks. I mean, it's okay being on a regular schedule, but it used to be like I was always staying up till like 3 a.m. every day, or just have crazy like nocturnal schedules. So going to like a LAN party and playing games till like 4 a.m. or till the sun comes up, like that was not a problem. But now it's like I feel like it throws off my schedule so much to do like crazy late night stuff. It just makes it harder. I guess you could just have a LAN party during the day. Maybe that's the right way to go. It just doesn't seem right if you're not like, drinking Mountain Dew at 3 a.m. That was like an integral part of a LAN party. Ooh. Oh, nice. I like it. Oh, thank you. Oh, I can almost read this. I knew a little Spanish, but not quite. So yeah, if you can translate that for me, happy to answer. Sound packs. I would love to. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. Yeah. I feel very self-conscious talking about things I'd love to do because there's not time to do everything. But yeah, sound packs would be fun, or different soundtrack options. Yeah. A lot of this though would be dependent on asset packs. So I need to finish up 1.8, so then it would be physically possible. If you want to just download different sounds or songs you could use as soundtracks or whatever, just having that happen like automatically. Oh, that's cool. Very crispy sounding. Yeah, I like it. I'm trying to think like what would I picture that? It sounds like cracking to me or something, just almost like an ice thing, but not like a shattery ice thing, almost just like slowing someone down, or yeah, I don't know. It could be a number of things. I always love watching those behind the scenes things where you see how they did sound effects for movies, and it's always something ridiculous like banging a spoon on a bottle of ketchup, or just some like what? Oh, if you missed anything, I'll be posting this video tomorrow on YouTube as usual, so you can. Not that there's anything super exciting that we've been talking about, but yeah. When will Betty release? Oh, Betty. Oh, yeah. Betty is probably number 2. Okay, so revising my current to-do list. Number 1, finishing this little polish release that I've been doing, 1.740 with the Python update and things like that. Number 2, I can't decide what's number 2 or 3. Betty, and then also rewards for or like chess rewards and tournaments. Like those are two things I need to get in there before we get back to 1.8. See, this always happens. There's always like little things that like, oh, I should slot that in first, but then like another one happens and another one. So yeah, Betty is definitely high priority. I really want to get Betty out there. Poor Betty has been sitting on my desktop for so long. There she is. Look at her. She's lovely. But yeah, she needs to be there. Whoa. Hard to say. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. Melee. Oh my gosh. Once again, I'm talking about things that don't exist yet. But yeah, I want Melee so much. Just like cool swinging around like a club, or yeah, just like hand weapons. Like the physics of that could be so much fun. Oh, the wedding was great. It was a lot of stuff, a lot of family visiting Poland. We did a lot of traveling and yeah, wedding-y stuff. But it was a really good time. It all went really well, and there were dinosaurs. So yes, here's Betty. So yeah, Sock made Betty. So it is awesome. She will be here soon. That's on a related note. That is one of the I do kind of want to redo the store API a little bit, or the store UI a little bit, from technical standpoint, so that it basically downloads these assets from asset packs online instead of having them hard coded like this, which means. Yeah, like when I add new characters and stuff, they'll be able to show up in the store without, me having to distribute a new version of the game. So yeah, technical stuff going along with the character stuff. So there are unused characters in code. There's one like the Taobao guy, the orange guy that people have figured out how to unlock. There are some other characters that are simply placeholders, though. If you look for them, the assets for those are simply copies of Spaz, I believe. So there's like 5 or 10 characters in there that are basically weird low-res versions of Spaz right now. And I put those in there years ago as placeholders, just so that if I fill in those placeholders, then everyone will be able to use those characters, even if they only. Like if someone is running an older version of the game and they connect to a game where those characters are being used, they will just see that weird low-res Spaz, but it won't crash, if that makes sense. So that's what those are about. It's basically placeholders for characters that have not been filled in yet. I'll probably be using a few of those. Like Betty will probably use the old lady one. That's actually part of the reason Sock suggested he'd be interested in doing the old lady characters, because there was a placeholder for her. Once asset packs are finally running, those placeholders will no longer be necessary. Maybe I'll take them out even. I'm not sure, to save space. Though that might break mods and stuff, so maybe I'll just leave them in. But yeah, that's the idea, is the placeholders were there as a way to be able to add new characters without breaking compatibility, if that makes sense. Oh yeah. No, that's just what I was saying is, yeah, I will. So yeah, I might add Betty before I even, I might just add her using the existing store system. See, there's that part of me that like I'd like to update the store system and then add Betty using like the shiny new one. But yeah, there's nothing stopping me. We could just add her down here or something. Um, though I would actually that reminds me, I would like to make her part of like one thing that I really want to get in there is like the replacement for Bomb Squad Pro. You know, like the more like a season based replacement, like the Pro Pass or something. Which for now it'll probably just once per season or once every few seasons there'll be a new Pro Pass that gives you like different new characters if you want to buy that. So I'd like for Betty to be part of the first Pro Pass if possible, which means there is a little bit of work that I have to do. $2 billion. My thought is the Pro Pass will probably be tokens. It'll be some number of tokens. Um, yeah, so to start with, yeah, Pro Pass will mostly likely be tokens. Maybe after a season or something, once that Pro Pass rotates out, then maybe those same characters would be purchasable like in the regular store. We'll have to, I don't know, we'll have to figure that out, like via tickets. But I do need something to replace Pro, because I took Pro out, but I kind of like having something where people can like get a starter pack, you know, essentially, like pay some. It won't be real money anymore. Like Pro was always like $5 or $3. So the season Pro passes, they'll be tokens. So theoretically, you could partially, maybe even fully pay for them by just, you know, getting tokens every day a little bit. You don't get too many tokens in game, but you get a few. But the hope is that most people would probably pay $1 or $2 or something for them. So that's the intention. Yeah, I'm trying to balance it where people can get a little bit of tokens by just coming back every day. I don't want it to get like out of hand, so I might do something where like it only gives you daily tokens up to a certain amount or something like that. You know, I definitely want to be careful with tokens because tokens is like the one way that I make money on the game basically, aside from ads. So I don't want it to make. I got to be very careful that I don't make it too easy for people to, you know, get tokens for free, to be blunt. Um, that's kind of the whole point of having that dual currency is that I can make tickets a lot easier to get, and you can earn tickets by gameplay and stuff like that. But tokens should be mostly limited to like real purchases because yeah, gotta pay the bills. Let me take a look at it, like, but probably is fine. Though maybe one thing I might ask is if you could let me or wait until 1740 is out, which should be very soon. I'm almost done with all this stuff, but there was a bit of churn here, so not to be a jerk, but I'd rather get 1740 up there, and then like if you need to fix anything with the PR to compensate for 1740. Otherwise, I might have to make a bunch of changes to 1740 to compensate for that PR. So yeah, that'd be my one request is if you can hold off on PRs just till 1740 is at least up on GitHub. How much does cloud hosting cost in the game? A lot. That is for quite a while now. The game has been basically breaking even or even losing money just because of cloud hosting costs. So that's part of the reason that I've been trying to revamp the monetization, get tokens in there and stuff like that. Tokens are not yet like where they need to be. That's why I want to add like the season pro pass and things like that, which kind of encourages people to buy some tokens or gives people more of a reason. But yeah, right now cloud hosting is very expensive. So I really want to get the game to a point where I can have as many cloud servers and all that running as I need, and I don't have to worry about it. But not quite there yet. It's not in like a dangerous place. It's not like I'm gonna go bankrupt or anything like that. But the game is not. It's not paying for all those cloud servers as well as it needs to be yet. They're trying to think. It's on the. It's some thousands of dollars per month, so it certainly is substantial. For like a game company, that wouldn't be bad though. But yeah, it's for one person. It's just means I need to make a bit more just to be able to pay those thousands of dollars per month. Though I live in California, it's an expensive place to live, so I'm used to, it's like I'm used to paying a lot of money per month for things. But yeah, the servers are like my biggest cost right now. I know chests are probably too cheap right now. My thought is I want to, before making any more calibrations, I want to add server chests because I think that'll add a lot more chests. So maybe add more chests, and then maybe each chest would have fewer things in it. Or yeah. Anyway, I kind of feel like the point is there'll be I think a big change soon with server chests where there'll be a lot more chests happening. And so even if the cost per chest is small, if people are opening lots and lots of chests, like that would still add up. Again, I'm trying to find a balance where the average player hopefully has an incentive to maybe buy a small token pack every so often. Like if I can get to that point, I'm happy. I'm not trying to. There's no way for the game to charge like $30 for something or whatever. Just how it's built. If there's something that's too pricey, you can just buy the gold pass and then you're done forever. So I can't have tons of purchases that cost people lots. So anyway, yeah, but so my aim is just to have it so that hopefully people are incentivized to, even if people got like the $1 token pack every so often, like that would be great. Because I'm lucky to be in a place where there's lots of players, and so I don't need to make a lot of money per player, but I just need to make a little money from a lot of players, if that makes sense. Oh sure, Mike, did I miss something? Merp. Oh no. Can you repost whatever? Oh wait. Servers with most people and lowest latency should go first. That is. Get back to coffee stage here. If that's what you're referring to, the server organization, that is a great idea. That reminds me of yet another thing on my to-do list is as part of 1.8, I mentioned this I think last time, is that I want to redo the server list. So there will be, it's going to be a little bit of like a break from the past where, whoops. The plan is when you come into Gather, go to public, there will probably be like join a public party legacy. This is like the old server list. And then there'll be like a new one, like join a public party. And that will only have probably like 1.8 games and newer. But I plan to completely redo how that list works. Like it'll by default probably only show you games in your region. And like what you mentioned with like sorting games by number of players, things like that, like it can do stuff like that. Like I want to make it just smarter. Like the existing server list is super old and super janky. Like there's some big downsides, like it shows every single server in the world, basically, and that doesn't scale very well. So we're at the point where there's like several hundred servers, and so my master server is actually sending out like a substantial chunk of data to everybody who like refreshes that list. So like that adds up. So I want it to be, it should be a lot more focused to where like you'll only see the servers near you. Also, I want to have some sort of like server rating system, or there'll be like a verified, like when you run a server, you'll have to attach it to your account or something like that, to where like we can kind of track servers, to where if somebody is running a crappy, if there's complaints about a server, we can effectively like ban that server, and they can't just like pop it up on a new IP address, stuff like that. So that's my hope, is to like make a more modern server system. Also, that will all use the V2 server. Like the existing server list is using the old V1 server. I'm trying to burn everything that uses the V1 server with fire. Just because the V1 master server is it's super old. Even though I updated it to Python 3, it's not very maintainable code. It's not very type safe. It's dangerous to like touch anything there. So I'm trying to kind of make modern type safe happy versions of everything in the V2 server. How bad is it to send clients 200 nodes to spawn? It might depend on the nodes and what kind of nodes or whatever. That still generally might be kind of bad, just because that's a lot of data that has to come down the pipe in like one moment. It could be like, in cases like that, it could almost be better if you can like use timers and like spread out those spawnings over the course of a second or something. That might help. But then again, like if it works, it works. Like, you know, maybe try it on a client, and if you're not seeing a hiccup, like, hey, go for it. Are you leaving Almeida? See ya if you are. I have, again, talking about future stuff, but I have a pretty good plan for Scene V2 in terms of getting bandwidth down into where stuff like making 100 bots per team or whatever hopefully wouldn't be too bad. We'll see. But yeah, in general, in the new system, yeah, busiest, lowest latency server. I mean, right now, I think it's just sorted by latency, right? But it's not sorted by busyness. So maybe we could do like a combination of both. Or also like ratings. I want to have some sort of like server ratings. Maybe it's just a simple thumbs up, thumbs down, but I want to reward people for having servers that are like online for a long time and get good ratings, you know? So maybe your rating would just like go up over time. I want to like disincentivize like making new servers constantly with like different names, you know? I feel like people should be able to kind of like learn to trust a server. But that also means like we need to have some way to verify that that server is still the server it says it is. So, you know, some tech challenges there. Well, thank you for your suggestion, Mike. So yeah, this like that certainly seems like an awesome set of features. I would, if you can wait until I get the V2 list up, like maybe it'll include some of that. But if it doesn't, and you want to port that to the new server list, like that'd be awesome. Something I still want to think about, and I haven't really done this. I implemented part of it. Source data. Where was this? Python BA base. I built this like app component system. And the whole point of this was being able to do something where like I can write a server list, but I would do it in a way where it's like an app component that you could like replace with your own component, and so then you could basically, or maybe like just some part of the server list, some idea where that like you could replace chunks of the app easily with like your own versions of them. So I feel like that would I would still like to get this going at some point, because then it would make it really easy to like if you just want to replace the server list with your own version of it that has like all these super cool knobs and controls, like it would make it easy to do that. I feel like there's some cases where it's nice to, this goes back to the complexity thing. Like I feel like there's some cases where it's nice to just provide a simple version of something that doesn't have many bells and whistles. But then if, pro players or people who are, just very technical or nerdy, they just want to like add all these cool features to be able to do whatever. Like I feel like they should have that option. So like this would be kind of a way to provide that is, if you wanted to provide your own server list or provide your own playlist editor or, something like that. Like that, I feel like there's a use there. Or like a chat window. I think the chat window is the reason that I did this. Some people have, some kind of pimped out chat windows with extra bells and whistles and cool features. Well, thank you for your support. That's very kind words. And thank you for bearing with me and being slow with all these updates, but I'm still working. Wait, did I miss what? Yeah, there's also related to the server stuff. I also do like I need to update server connection stuff a little bit. So as part of that, I do want to close some holes right now. Where right now, for instance, if there's a server that's full, it'll put you in like the waiting queue. But if you know that server's IP address, you can just connect to it differently or connect to it directly and circumvent the queue. So I want to like close some loopholes like that and just make servers a little bit more bulletproof. Or like if you're banned, it won't. My thought is you'll probably, when connecting to a server, yeah, it's coming back to me now. I'm remembering. But as part of this, like one feature that I'm working on is when you connect to a server, your client will provide some credential to that server where the server will know for sure like who you are. And that credential will have been provided by the master server. It's technical how it works, but it's basically like you have to talk to the master server, be like, hey, I need my ID. Like, give me my ID. And then you present that ID to the server. The server lets you in, and then the server knows exactly who you are. And it should be 100% foolproof. With using correct, proper security and all that. So that'll allow for some neat things. You'll know exactly who's connecting to your server, and if they have been banned at some point, like you can look at their account or whatever, and you'll be able to just like prevent them from connecting to your server completely. Right now, there's all these weird wishy-washy cases where when someone connects to your server, it will like look up their info on the master server, but that is still technically possible to spoof, I think, in some ways. And yeah, it's not great. So the 1.8 system or whatever it winds up being should be a lot more clean. You'll know exactly like somebody's V2 account ID, and if you don't want to let them in, like they won't be able to get in. Oh, anyone, if you need to be unbanned, ping me off after this or offline or whatever. Now that I'm around, I will try to respond more. I know some people do get either accidentally banned because I'm sure in some cases people get crazy high scores and get accidentally banned, or people just tinkering with hacks. Like we've all done it. So in most cases, I'm happy to unban you. I feel like the annoyance of having to wait for me to unban people hopefully is like a disincentive to hack, just because I can be slow. Oh yeah, do we want to? Someone want to host? Maybe someone over in Europe. I'm happy to hop on, play some games for the last 25 minutes. I can keep talking too while playing. I'm not great at multitasking, but I can try. Maybe I will use this as an opportunity to test my latest build here, since I've been like making lots of random changes. Not like noticeable changes, but like technical changes. Right? Yeah. Anyone want to host? We just need a code. That is another feature I need too. Is for private hosting. It should be possible to say like, hey, host a game in Europe or host a game wherever. Right now, it just hosts like where it detects you are close to. All right, we have a game. All right, wow. Oh, what am I doing? Sorry, brain fart. It is always funny watching people like scroll through their profiles. Maybe that is probably something that should be fixed too. Like if you're selecting a profile to play with, it probably shouldn't show the world like all of your other profiles. Hello. Dang. That is interesting. Like longer, I do feel like longer respawn times. It's not always bad. I feel like that makes it more intense to die, you know? It's a little bit like you care about your life more in that case. Though I guess that makes it super frustrating if you like get insta-killed. Dang. Bro board. Whoa. Don't mess with bro board. Also, 25 seconds gives a nice opportunity for a little coffee. Oof. It does kind of feel like everyone's being more cautious because of the spawn times. Or maybe I'm just imagining that. It's like more like hanging back and throwing bombs. Yes. In your honor, Vinny. Aw. I shouldn't say aw. I'd be like, aw. Uh-oh. No. It's true. Whoa. It's like watching a game of chess. Oh no! Oh. What a way to go. Dang. Ooh. Oh, oh no. That was close. Go sock. Team Eric. I feel like I'm never on Sock's team. I'm usually like used to him destroying me. It's weird. Run, little penguin. Oh no. Oh, that was brutal. Oh no! Oh no! The bad landing. He even narrated on his way down. Wow, I lasted long. Broboard avenged me. Thank you, Broboard. Oh, good throw. Uh-oh. The casual, like, finishing off. It's harsh. Dang. Aging character is fitting. This is some Matrix stuff we're witnessing. Yeah, I'm not complaining. Aw. is a vicious penguin. Oh, oh, uh-oh, oh, well. Oh no, suck! Oh, I think that's still a bug. There should be a, Oh gosh, that's me. Oh no. Farewell. Answering questions when I should be watching the screen. Though that's about how long I lasted last time, even when I was watching the screen. So yeah, I'm balancing the teams out by being terrible. What can you do? Oh. It's true. I've also got a bunch of Xbox controllers. I think Xbox controllers are my favorite, but I keep this around for testing for whatever reason. I should like give away my old controllers. I have a bunch of like PS2 and Xbox 360 controllers that I can't use anymore because they don't work with macOS anymore. I should just like auction those. Like have a controller that was used to test Bomb Squad 1.0. Though in a way, I don't know. It's nice to hold on to them for nostalgia too. It's just like, ah, memories. Do you guys keep old stuff like that, like Xbox 360s or just old stuff that you don't really use anymore, like for nostalgia purposes, or like old phones? Oh. Dang, bro board. Okay, well, I'll keep the controller thing in mind. That would be that could be a cool giveaway sometime. Once we have if we have like a major tournament or something, like have an original Bomb Squad controller. Just run. That's the only solution. Just end it. Are you getting 1200 ping? Ouch. For me to Europe, it's always usually 140 or so, which is playable. I can't hide behind the ping. Like my bad playing is just my bad playing. Dang. Bro board. MVP. It is neat to see like a super pro players. Yeah, I killed someone. Oh, sorry, Sock. My bad. Oof. Not a good idea. Oh, that worked. Oh, dang it, Sock. Sorry, Sock. I keep accidentally whacking you. that, that one was certainly interesting, though I kind of feel like you need like a way high score limit. Oh, if only that were the last laugh. Go, bunny, go. Oops. I ran Sock off the road. Sorry, Sock. I'm really not trying to hurt you. Oh, I am shamed. Whee! Jeez. One of those like epilepsy warnings for this level. My God. What? What is happening? It was a peaceful moment. Oh. Oh. All right, time for the bro board show again. Oh, bro board has fallen. Oh, almost. Oh, oh no. Oof. Yeah, I know. I've had that the patch you sent me sitting around forever. I need to finally get that in there. My old pipeline is currently slightly broken. I'd like to fix. I have like a Maya file for this map, so I'd like to make the fix like in the Maya file, so then I can re-export all the stuff from there. I need to fix the pipeline. That'll certainly be something I'm doing as I convert everything to asset packages. So if nothing else, it'll be possible then. Oops. The Eric died. This is a common occurrence. The Eric dies often. Oh boy. Oh, thank you. Oh no. Farewell. It was a good attempt. It was an honor to get tossed by Broboard. Oh, nice. Oh, that was almost glorious. Go, Sock, go. Oh. Partly because I don't know all the fancy tricks. Oh man, limit is 4. It's gonna take a while. Oh no, Vishu, farewell. Farewell. Oh no, so close. Oh. This is the first time I've seen like that exploit in person, so yeah. Okay, now I feel like I should, Sock, I should get your fix in. Maybe I can take a look at that today. I can get my Maya pipeline fixed. Not even fixed. It's just, well, yeah, fixed. I gotta like tweak some scripts. Aw, an honor playing with you, sir. Your mad skills are impressive. Okay, I guess with that, I guess 4 isn't undoable. Playing a phone, really? Whoa. Well, I feel like that's on me to get the patch in there, and it's always awkward if you're like relying on honor systems to not do exploity things. Like I feel like you just need to like make the exploity things not possible. Doing my standard face plant into the wall. All right. I'll be back in 10 seconds. Oh, so close. That was almost epic. Oh, sock, well done. Team Eric strikes again. Yeah, I feel like our team was a little stacked there. I tried to even it out by being terrible, but I can only do so much. All right, well, we're past 12, so that was fun, but I think I'll have to wrap it up for the day. Or past, yeah, 12 my time, not 12 your time, but that was fun. There's a few interesting variations there, like the like that assault on ice was kind of fun. It lasted like 7 seconds, but I feel like that would be good with a few more points. But yeah, some fun variations in there. So good game, good game. Oh, well, good to meet you, Brother Board, okay. So yeah, all right. Well, I will wrap this up. I will hang out for a bit in yeah, dev discussion and other places. So yeah, anyone who I mentioned to ping me right after this. I will get back to you. We'll get people unlocked, whatever needs to happen. New victory sound. Let's hear this. So there's like two things playing there. There's like a sound that plays earlier and then like the victory sound. It's kind of cool. The victory sound. But yeah, it'd be fun to like we should have an official way to like do different sound packs or something like that. I'll have to think about that. It'd be like soundtracks but different. Cool. Anyway, gonna wrap it up for now. So it's been fun, everyone. We need an idea for the YouTube video name. What have we been discussing? What are pertinent facts from today? Any ideas? DM after? That is true. We have said that. Unless you're just telling me that, or is that your idea for the video? It's hard to tell. Return from Dinos and Weddings. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, there's some ideas there. So, all right. Well, everybody, it's been fun. So yeah, I'll talk to you, some of you now, and otherwise, I should be back. We should be back on the regular 2-week schedule. I've got a few minor trips coming up, but certainly nothing like the crazy 4 weeks in Poland. So I should be getting more done. There should be more updates from me, and we should be back on kind of a regular every other week thing. So hopefully I can get those things knocked out that I was mentioning, and then we can finally get 1.8 out here soon. Looking forward to it. I'm definitely a few weeks away from the game. Definitely makes me like anxious to like work. So I'm certainly inspired. Just need to get stuff done now. So all right. Well, I will see all of you folks next time. So peace out.